morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to see so many talents concerning about China's development. And the phrase common prosperity has been quite hot lately, together with the outrageous interpretation that common prosperity will use the means by taking wealth from the rich to give it to the poor. I can totally understand the shock and worries of overseas. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce the whole concept. My interpretation includes three parts: the origin of common prosperity and China's practice, the methodology to achieve common prosperity and the opportunities, and how to join this. Actually, common prosperity is not a fresh concept in China. We have been fought for it since the day the Communist Party of China was born. You see, in the constitution of CPC, we say that CPC represents the fundamental interest of the overwhelming majority of the Chinese people. And the highest ideal of the ultimate goal of CPC is to realize communism. What is communism like? The founder of the ideology of communism, Marx, has pictured it in the Communist Manifesto. In the advanced stage of communism, labor is no longer a means to make a living, but becomes the first need of life, and has become an inevitable way to show the individual ability and talent. Everyone will work hard to realize their personal value and give back to the society. So this kind of universal material and spiritual comprehensive sense of wealth and prosperity is called common prosperity. So it's where it's from. And Marx was not the only one that made this kind of conclusion. We see that the Maslow's hierarchy of needs has made similar judgments. You see, the realization of self-actualization is the highest level of personal needs. Maslow's theory describes only individual, only one person, but theoretically, we think that if everyone can reach this level, common prosperity will be achieved. So Marx mentioned the three key points of common prosperity: the material, spiritual, and universal. In a very long time after People's Republic of China was established, we were trying to solve the material prosperity problem. You see, at the time, China was so poor, people even could not feed themselves. In that case, we focused on economic development to ensure people's basic living needs. CPC led the reform and opening up policy, encouraged Chinese people to embrace the opportunities of globalization, encourage brave souls to get rich first and push others and being rich later. So in 1987, we put forward the three-step strategy. You see, to 1990, the GDP doubled that of 1980, ensure people's basic living needs. To the end of 20th century, GDP double again and people's life being prosperous. And to the middle of the 20th century, basically achieved modernization and per capita GDP reached the level of moderately developed countries, and the people lived a relatively prosperous life. After decades, we finally reached the goal. On July 1st this year, at the celebration of the centenary of the founding of CPC, President Xi Jinping solely announced that China have completed the building of a moderately prosperous society in all respects. We embark on a new journey toward a modern socialist country. So at the present stage, the main social contradiction has been transformed into the contradiction between people's growing need for a better life and the unbalanced and inadequate development. The equitable wealth distribution is to be realized by lifting the incomes of the poor and the working class, not by taking from the rich. This makes economic and social sense. With more people able to afford a reasonable standard of living, total consumption will increase and leading to economic growth and social stability. But China's middle class numbers is around 400 million now, which is less than 30% of its 1.4 billion population, suggesting that only a few at the top, at the top of the pyramid, owing the majority of the wealth, while the majority has little. The situation is quite rigorous, starting to drag down the development process. And our thought is to turning the pyramid into an almond-shaped economy that should expand the consumption to GDP ratio and reduce the need to export, easing the economy's exposure to external risks. When we can, then we can achieve a healthier development dynamic. That is why in the 14th five-year plan, the phrase common prosperity is brought up again. So the methodology to achieve common prosperity and the opportunities. Actually, in the 14th five-year plan, we had a bigger picture. We are holding some principles. The progress is always step by step, and the rich is relatively and shall generate the wealth shall generate from hard work and innovation, not by taken from others. So in our exploration, we think that there are three key elements: the driving force, foundation, and inclusive. The driving force means we need to persist in making the pie of development bigger. Since as the pie is getting bigger, so that the distribution will not lead to zero-sum game. So we are trying to seize the opportunity of innovation and all kinds of new economies, like the digital economy and the green economy, to keep developing healthily. And at the foundation, we think that the foundation refers to the supply of public products. We need to ensure the safe and stable and orderly operation of society. So public services and consumption upgrade will be the key point to build the foundation. And inclusive, emphasize the equal opportunity for all groups. And now our major concern is the rural and urban coordination and coordination from all groups. So rural revitalization and charity are our focus. So let's introduce some details. There are also the market opportunities you can see in our developing route, the path. See, in the innovation, I quote President Xi Jinping's words here: take innovation as the main driving force for development. The technology innovation consists of a separate chapter in the 14th five-year plan. This is the first time, I think. We plan to tackle the key problems in frontier science and technology, such as the new generation of artificial intelligence, quantum information, integrated circuits, brain science and brain-like intelligence technology, genes and biotechnology, clinical medicine and health, deep space, deep earth, deep sea, and polar explorations. And we also need to enhance competitiveness of manufacturing industry, such as high-end new materials, major technical equipments, intelligent manufacturing and robotic technology, aero engine and gas turbine, industrial application of Beidou, and new energy and intelligent networked vehicles, high-end medical equipment and innovative medicine, agriculture, machinery, and equipment. They are all the industry opportunities. And we warmly welcome enterprises to lead the establishment of innovation consortia and undertake major national science and technology projects and support small and medium science enterprises to grow into important birthplace of innovation. We also make effort to strengthen the construction of generic technology platforms, promote integrated innovation in upstream, middle, and downstream industrial chains. The next one is the digital economy. It is booming recently in China. During the past 5 years, the scale of China's digital economy increased 2.5 times and accounting for nearly 39% of GDP in 2020. China's e-commerce scale ranked first in the world, and online payment, express delivery, logistics, network services are booming now. And the opportunities are here. We may, if you are interested, the digitalization proportion of the service industry is nearly 40% now, but in the manufacturing is only 21%, and in the agriculture is only nearly 9%. So there are still very huge progress space. On November 25th, just the last month, Shanghai Data Exchange was inaugurated, which is an important measure to accelerate the construction of the data factory. And the nation will encourage the development of new digital infrastructure, especially accelerate the development of the fifth generation mobile communications, industrial internet, and big data centers in the 14th five-year plan period. The next one is the green economy. The nation attaches more and more importance to green development recent years. Several ministries jointly issued the catalog of green industry guidance. You see, we encouraged not only, I just listed some of the encouraged industries here, the high-tech efficiency and energy saving equipment manufacturing, and the clean production industry, clean energy industry, ecological and environment industry, green upgrade of infrastructure, and green service. There are also some statistics of some market segments. In 2019, the new energy market scale is growing by more than 10% until now. So at this year, the carbon peak and the carbon neutrality targets, these two targets were included in the report of the government work for the first time in China's history. We plan to support the green technology innovation and promote cleaner production, develop environmental protection industries, and promote green transformation in key industries and important areas. The next segment is public services. In the 14th five-year plan, the nation will promote the upgrading consumer services to high quality and diversified, accelerate the development of services such as health, elderly care, child education, culture, tourism, sports, housekeeping, and property management, and strengthen the supply of public welfare and basic services. Develop an inclusive childcare service system. C. The education is quite a key in the common prosperity right now. I need to emphasize that the nation provides more and more free education so that the poor could be taught how to fish rather than being given a fish. So 12-year free education has already been supplied in Xinjiang and Xizang, and 9-year free education in other areas. And we also provide free vocational skills training for people in rural areas. The next one, the opportunities also lie in the consumption upgrade. More and more people pursue better quality of life. So the improved needs for smart homes, experimental consumption, cultural consumption, tourism, and designed consumer products are rising largely. The next one is the rural revitalization. After accomplished the comprehensive poverty alleviation, the government promotes a successive strategy called this one, the rural revitalization. Actually, along with the rural living conditions improve, the potential of rural economy is being released. So there's data from the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs. It shows that as for October this year, there are 267 towns with rural characteristics industries output value reaching 1 billion yuan, and 387 towns reaching the 1,000 million yuan. So the local characteristics, agriculture products, and rural tourism are warmly welcomed by the market now. In weekends, we all like to take our families to the rural areas for a short tour. It's booming. The market is booming. The next one, charity. Charity is the main measure for the third distribution, which is also quite hot lately. I think that the whole world is worrying that China is going to rob the rich to give to the poor, but it's really over-interpreted. We are just encouraging the rich and the corporations to share the wealth. No panel, no force, just encourage. We're trying to train the socially responsible citizens. You see the worldwide famous companies like Facebook and rich people like Warren Buffett, they donate millions of dollars to charity every year. That's not big deal. And actually, charity in China does not develop as well as other industries. It is the truth, including the supervision, the legal system, the volunteer management, and so on. But the need for charity has developed from the poverty alleviation to fields like community service, psychological consulting, education, sanitation, and environmental protection, and so on. These are all the great opportunities for inspiring the youth to reach self-actualization, to realize the value of life. Well, so many opportunities I have introduced. I'd like to quote President Xi Jinping again. The talent is the first resource. So we welcome the men of insight from all over the world to join our exploration. Actually, many overseas talents have joined us recent years. I collected some from the news. You see, in the digital economy fields, we have the Club Factory, which was established by two graduates from Stanford. They invented a supply chain management system that integrated hundreds of thousands of suppliers and tens of millions of SKUs in the upstream, and 26 countries and regions are covered in the downstream. And this app ranked in the top 5 in the app shopping list of more than 10 countries and top 10 in 14 countries. And this is a sports production company. It is also founded by the overseas graduate called Fang Tian. It specializes in producing the treadmills. The products have been sold to 81 countries and regions. And this is a creative restaurant. It is called 3 Drops. You see, 3 Drops. It is opened by the 2 Hong Kong youths, Li Guoming and Ye Weijun, which it has become a very internet famous shop, and the foods are also very, very excellent. They are the examples for the the consumption upgrade opportunities. And this one, in the rural revitalization fields, we have Yodel and Doji Group. Yodel is a fruit company. It brought high quality apple selection strategies into China. Its Freckle Beauty, the brand, has become the flagship Apple brand in Pinduoduo. And Doji Group, it is they introduced the Tibetan carpet handicraft industry along the Belt and Road area. Like they sold to the Pakistan and Malaysia, and was only welcomed by at that markets. So the last part, how to join us. So many opportunities, and we welcomed all the talents from all over the world to join us. Let's build a common prosperity together. And the whole country are implementing policies to support the innovation and entrepreneurship projects of high-level overseas talent and provide talent lending services. More than any other periods, we are making the best effort we can. Since the COVID-19 hinders face-to-face communication, I brought 2 online platforms you may like to participate here. The first one is the Convention on Exchange of Overseas Talents and Guangzhou Convention Overseas Chinese Scholars in Science and Technology. It is the largest and highest level most influential overseas talent innovation and entrepreneurship exchange platform in China. And the convention this year will be held tomorrow. So if you are interested, you may log on our website. And the second one is the China High Tech Fair. It is the largest and the most influential scientific and technological fair in China, and is renowned as the #1 technology show in China, and is the channel for advanced international tech and products into Chinese market. And this is their website. You may like to visit. Refer to the local policies. I know that where I live is better. I live in the Greater Bay Area of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau. Actually, in Guangzhou City is in the Greater Bay Area. We formed a quite complete cycle of talent support. You see, we have the shortage talent shortage talent directory of GBA, and we implemented several policies to support the employment and apprenticeship of overseas youth in the GBA. See, we have the many incubators services generally, the setup capital, the project financing, the workplace settlements, the recruitment subsidies, and resident permits, all the services you can imagine we can provide. And I selected some of the recommendations to recommended incubators here. The first one is the China Singapore Guangzhou Knowledge City Freeport for international talents. China Singapore Guangzhou Knowledge City. This knowledge city is a nationwide bilateral collaboration project between China and Singapore, located in Guangzhou, and aiming at attracting both talents and knowledge-based industries. And I invite the Miss Han from the Freeport here. So later she will introduce the Freeport more detailedly. And I'd like to introduce the other two, the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area Innovation and Entrepreneurial Base. This base is located in Guangzhou too, because I'm a Guangzhouan. And this is a nationwide incubation-based model. The base aims at shaping into a national, international, and demonstrative business incubation and practice platform. The base focuses on providing full cycle business incubation service for the youth in Hong Kong and Macau. So young people from Hong Kong and Macau can pay more attention to this base. As well as serving high level and high skilled talent such as university students and overseas returnees. And these are the contact information if you are interested in. The third one is the Grand Tech Park. This park focus on high-tech industries, giving full play to the talent gathering effect, building an international scientific and technological innovation complex, and building an international talent entrepreneurial community with integrated production, life, and ecology. Many famous innovation accelerators and funds, such as Plug and Play, Socorro Capital, and New Frontier Groups, are its partners. And here's the information. And in the upper two, these two, they have stronger governmental resource connections, and the latter one, the third one, the Grand Tech Park, has stronger connection to the market power, and the community running is also its advantage. So if you are interested, you may screenshot the contact information. So that's all for my presentation now.
Thank you, Lilian, for the great sharing, and also with a lot of examples. I think we will open the moderations, and this is the Yamin Su from the Work Knowledge Forum. If you're ready, then I think together with the guests from the Knowledge Park, Ms. Hans, then Yamin, you can feel free to kickstart your moderation. Thank you. You are mute, Yamin.
Sorry, thank you, Andrew. So thank you, Lilian, for the excellent speech. So now we invite Ms. Han from Guangzhou to introduce for 3 minutes. Thank you.
Sorry. So can everyone see my screen right now? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me begin. So hello everyone. I'm sorry, can you please mute your, sorry, my colleague is hi everyone, I'm Crystal. So I'm a consultant for high-end service, and I'm from the China Singapore Guangzhou Knowledge City, Freeport for International Talents, so which is short for the Talent Hub. So right now I'm gonna to briefly introduce our place. So basically our place is a comprehensive talent service which built by Huangpu and Guangzhou Development District. So we are committed to appealing the international talents, and which can building a perfect and well-behaved talent environment, so as to gather and cultivate a group of famous experts and innovation team. So finally, it can provide a strong intellectual and talent spot for building the GBA International Science and Technology Knowledge Center. And then here is where we live. So here is our scientist office and the IAB hall and the roadshow hall and the studio, one of our famous talent stop service center. And the finally is the workstation. Is where right now is our workstation. And then is our talent introduce model, which called the 6-1 model. Obviously, we can see it has 6 steps. So firstly, is the introduce a talent, and then is bring a technology, and we have this talent. to establish a team, and then we just gradually help them to incubate a project or program. And the fifth step is help them to market and a company. And finally, we can strengthen an industrial in Huangpu district. And then here is our one of the famous, I think it's the service, I suppose. It's called Thailand's OneStop service center. So why we call so important to us? Because it is the first overseas talent innovation and entrepreneurship service center in China. So we are designed to provide one-stop service from the talent entrepreneurship to the growth of the company. So here we can see we have 6 kinds of service. So the first one is the foreigner service. So it's basically just apply for all kinds of, no, it's different types of the visa, such as the working permit, foreigner visa, and the residence permits. And most important is our talent green card in Guangzhou. And then the second one. So we also provide intellectual property. It's just an application and consultation service for the trademark, patents, and copyright. And the third one is the industrial talent policy. So it's provide policy consultation, planning, and declaration. And the fourth one is the transformation of the technological achievement. So it has 3 parts of this one. So first one is the transformation consultation between the colleague and the company. And then we have the company to help them technology to demand matching from the colleague to the company. And the third one, so gradually we help them to promote the project achievement of the marketing transformation. So the fifth one is called the financial supermarket. So it also has 3 parts of this section. So the first one is the financial product. So, you know, some of the talents or the innovation team, they do not have enough funding to do their research or to make the product into the market. So we help them to find most suitable, such as the tech loan and the talent loan, to help them for the funding support. And then we provide the platform of the product roadshow. You know, the talent or some innovation team can try to sell them product in our place, in our roadshow hall. And right now it's for free now. It is so generous of this one. So, and the third one is the policy propaganda for finance and intellectual property. And the last one is our doctor and postdoctor service. So basically, it's mainly about the consultation of doctor and postdoctor working station. And the third one and the second one is all about consultation service for the talent's introduction and the talent communication. So that is all our Talents Hub today. So if you want to know for more information, please contact me. So I'm the consultant of the talent service, and here is my email. And the middle one is my business card, which is the corporation WeChat. You guys can just scan this QR code, which can contact me immediately for more information. So thank you today. That is all my sharing today.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for your excellent introduction. It's amazing. So back to Lilian and also Crystal. I think that after your introduction, we both feel that the 2035 Common Prosperity is a big strategy for China, right? It's relevant to 1.4 billion population living in China. But more than that, they can have a big impact to the world, like Hong Kong, Macau, and also ASEAN region, very near close to. This is a common market we are facing. So what kind of opportunities for Hong Kong and ASEAN region can benefit or can have set up their own strategy of the development according to 2035 Common Prosperity Goal? Yeah, Lilian, please.
Yeah, it's a good question. As I have mentioned, China tries to realize common prosperity by lifting the incomes of the poor and working class, which makes huge market chances. Imagine that 1.4 billion people able to afford a reasonable standard of living. The total consumption will definitely increase and increase enormously. So Chinese market will become the largest market worldwide in decades. And that is certainly could not be satisfied by domestic production only. So we are welcoming worldwide suppliers and worldwide resources to share the market. In 2017, we founded a new expo, the China International Import Expo. This is quite a signal. It had been held for 5 years, and we welcomes government officials, business communities, exhibitors, and professional purchasers across the world to explore the Chinese market. However, China is still in the process of opening up. We need to face the truth that the legal system and many market operation rules are still not in line with international rules. So take the currency exchange problem as an example. We are pushing the internationalization of RMB, but the process may still take decades. So in this process, Hong Kong will be the perfect bridge to fill the gap. The international trade, Hong Kong is the international free trade center and the financial center, world famous, and all the rules are well developed, and the relevant markets are prosperous and authentic. Sorry. Many companies I know are still willing to set branches or subsidies in Hong Kong to get better connection to the world. So I think Hong Kong should persist in the role of super content man, develop better high-end producer services. And it does not mean that talents from other areas have no opportunities. We have the Greater Bay Area, which is quite advantages in manufacturing industries. So talents in other areas may also find opportunities in the Greater Bay Area, which is more comprehensive developed. As to ASEAN, I think ASEAN is always our best cooperation partners, like Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam. I noticed that in 2020, ASEAN has become the largest trading partners of China. So from my personal observation, ASEAN's products are very welcomed in China, especially agricultural products like fruits and seafood. ASEAN is also one of the hottest tourist destination from China. What's more, in my research, many Chinese companies chose ASEAN as their first overseas investment destination because we are close enough, and because of the mutual complementary advantages in various respects. So with the RCEP coming into effect, I think we will certainly share a better future together. We can create a larger production chain together and a more huge free market together.
Thank you, Lilian. So I have another question, but at the same time, I think that the participant online can text your questions in the chat box as well. Okay. So second question is for Crystal. With your introduction, this is an amazing picture that Guangzhou is attracting more talent, right? In the big Bay Area or around, right? So my question is that what kind of talent and what kind of maybe early stage companies will be very fit for future BGA development to echo to the 2035 common prosperity strategy and also for the local development?
Thank you. This is a very great question. So basically, mainly about the industrial, it's mainly about the IAB industrial. So right now, we are very welcome that kind of talents in our area. And right now, we are successfully introduced more than 161 program in our Huangpu district in our talent hub. So we mostly they are come from the all different kind of the country in the world. So for the medical is called the 百济生物. It is an immune system company which can help the patients reduce their painful and to make this kind of medical. So we just introduced to our talent hub, and the other for the information system, we just invite over 13 companies, including the Mainland and the other famous company. And they mainly not about the information system. It's all about about the AI and something else. So mostly we are very welcome to IAB industrial to this kind of talents to join us. Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal. Anything to add from Lilian part from your picture?
Sorry?
Lilian, yeah.
Yeah, because the outline of the development plan for GBA, we set a goal to be the role model of high quality development, and by 2035. The GBA shall become the economic system and mode of development, mainly supported by innovation. So, I think the innovation, technology innovation talents is really lack and welcomed in GBA. That's our characteristics. And I also have some statistics that for the talents we are lacking now. The talents in the manufacturing industries are the most needed talents, and it counts for half of the total demand. And also followed by the new generation information technology industry and transportation, storage, and poster industry, construction, and wholesale and retail industry. And in all of these fields, high educated talents are especially welcomed. Not just a startup business, you can also come and work here. The companies are welcome, they welcome overseas talents to work for them.
So thank you, Lilian. I think it's really good sharing and also good introduction from Crystal as well. In brief, I think that not just Chinese people had a benefit from the common perspective, strategy, but also there is a big market and big needs for the regional, I mean ASEAN regional, right? So it's not just the talent, capital, and other resources, but it's all about how we think. What is the sharing vision for the whole population, right? How we can bring both business, government, academia, and citizens into discussion, into collaboration for the common goals. And also, I think that it's really important that your introduction, we see that the fourth industry revolution, technology, I mean AI, IoT, and also blockchain technology is deeply engaged into the society, from advanced manufacturing to logistics to urban transformation to ICT technology, ICT domain, so on. So that is the future driver for the whole society. And I think that you are welcome, both China and also overseas talent to working in this domain, right? So thank you very much to ladies, and thank you for sharing. See you next time.
See you.